can just make one request. This seems very impersonal. I'm just looking at the empty space here. So devotees can come a bit closer, that'd be nice. Except elderly who need a bit of rest on the wall. Narayanam namaskritya Naram chaiva narottamam Devim saraswatim vyasam Tato jayam mudiraye Nashta prayeshu bhadreshu Nityam bhagavata sevaya Bhagavati uttama shloke Bhaktir bhavati naishtiki Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya
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 Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya.
So today we are reading from Srīmad Bhāgavatam, 2nd Canto, 1st chapter, text number 5. Tasmad Bharat Sarvatma Tasmad Bharat Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishvaro Harihi Bhagavan Ishvaro Harihi Shrotavya Kirtitavyascha Shrotavya Kirtitavyascha Smaratavyascha tathabhayam Smaratavyascha Tasmad Bharat Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishvaro Harihi Shrotavya Kirtitavyascha Smaratavyascha
Tasmad Bharat Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishvaro Harihi Shrotavya Kirtitavyascha Smaratavyascha Ichchatabhayam
Say, you want to try? Mataji?
Tasmad Bharat Sarvatma
Tasmad Bharat Sarvatma
Bhagavan Ishvaro Harihi
Bhagavan Ishvaro Harihi
Shrotavya Kirtitavyascha
Shrotavya Kirtitavyascha Smaratavyascha
Tasmad Bharat Sarvatma
Tasmad Bharat Sarvatma
Bhagavan Ishvaro Harihi
Bhagavan Ishvaro Harihi
Shrotavya Kirtitavyascha
Shrotavya Kirtitavyascha Smaratavyascha Want to try? During the course we may try. Word to word. Tasmat, for this reason,
For this reason,
Bharata, for descendant of Bharata, Sarvatma, the super soul, Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead, Ishvaraha, the controller, Harihi, the Lord, who vanquishes all miseries. Shrotavyaha, is to be heard. Kirtitavyaha, to be glorified. Cha, also. Smartavyaha, to be remembered. Cha, and. Ichchata, of one who desires. Abhayam, freedom. Translation by His loving divine grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada ki. Please repeat. O descendant of King Bharata, one who desires to be free from all miseries, must hear about, glorify, and also remember the personality of Godhead, who is the super soul, the controller, and the savior from all miseries. Put by Srila Prabhupada, please hear. In the previous verse, Sri Shukadeva Goswami has described how the foolish materially attached men are wasting their valuable time in improvement of material conditions of life by sleeping, indulging in sex life, developing economic conditions, and maintaining a band of relatives who are to be vanquished in the air of oblivion. Being engaged in all these materialistic activities, the living soul entangles himself in the cycle of law of fruitive actions. This entails the chain of birth and death in the 8,400,000 species of life. The aquatics, the vegetables, the reptiles, the birds, the beasts, the uncivilized man, and then again human form, which is the chance for getting out of the cycle of fruitive actions. Therefore, if one desires freedom from this vicious cycle, then one must cease to act as a karmi, or enjoyer of the results of one's own work, good or bad. One should not do anything, either good or bad, on his own account, but must execute everything on behalf of the Supreme Lord, the ultimate proprietor of everything that be. This process of doing work is recommended in Bhagavad Gita 9:27. Also, where instruction is given for all work on the Lord's account. Therefore, one should first of all hear about the Lord. When one has perfectly and scrutinizingly heard, one must glorify his acts and deeds. And thus it will become possible to remember constantly the transcendental nature of the Lord. Hearing about and glorifying the Lord are identical with the transcendental nature of the Lord. And by so doing, one will always be in association of the Lord. This brings freedom from all sorts of fear. The Lord is the super soul, Paramatma, present in the hearts of all living beings. And thus, by the above hearing and glorifying process, the Lord invites the association of all in His creation. This process of hearing about and glorifying the Lord is applicable for everyone, whoever he may be, and it will lead one to the ultimate success in everything in which one may be engaged by providence. There are many classes of human beings: the fruitive workers, the empiric philosophers, the mystic yogis, and ultimately the unalloyed devotees. For all of them, one and the same process is applicable for achieving the desired success. Everyone wants to be free from all kinds of fear, and everyone wants the fullest extent of happiness in life. The perfect process for achieving this here and now is recommended in the Srīmad Bhāgavatam, which is uttered by such a great authority as Srila Shukadeva Goswami. By hearing about and glorifying the Lord, all a person's activities become molded into spiritual activities, and thus all conceptions of material miseries become completely vanquished. Jai Bhaktivedanta Prepads ki Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudapadakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Sha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Paran Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Sha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namasate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarobhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasani Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bhute Mahadbhir Yaimak Puro Vibu Nirmaya Shete Yadamu Shupurusha Bhute Gunan Shodashatmaka Solang Krisishta Bhagavan Vachamsi Me Shri Krishna Sharanam Sharanagatam Katha Amritam Satatapivatam Bhakti Vedanta Marga Panthanam Sarvaloka Rishideva Janna Prasannam Sarvaloka Rishideva Janna Prasannam. Hare Krishna. So I seek blessings from all the several Vaishnavas, Srila Prabhupada, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna, along with his consort Srimati Radharani, Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, Maharani, Shri Gaur Nitai, and the entire Guru Parampara, so that anything we may speak may be according to the Parampara and be pleasing to everyone. So, Srila Shukadeva Goswami is now responding to Parīkṣit Maharaj. Parīkṣit Maharaj has asked relevant questions. What are these questions? That what is the duty of everyone at all times, and especially for those who are about to die? What should they hear? What should they glorify? And what should they think? And what they should not do? So these are the questions. What should they not do? What should they hear? What should they glorify? What should they think? For everyone at all time, and especially for those who are about to die. So as they say, as sure as death, we all one day will bite the dust. But in the modern day, not everyone wants to talk about it. They don't want to discuss it. Now, as Yudhishthira Maharaj says to the Yaksha, he asks the questions, what is the most wonderful thing in this world? Yudhishthira Maharaj replies, Ahani bhutani gachanti miha yamal ilayam. That every moment, Ani, Bhutani, all the living entities, Gachanti ha Yamalayam, they are going to the abode of Yamaraja. Sheshavara means the remaining. Stharava Ichchati, they think their position is Stharava, fixed. They think they won't die. Of course, everyone knows they're gonna die, but their actions say something different. Their actions are as if they'll live forever. Our actions are as if we'll live forever. That includes, the decisions we make in work, in marriage, in finances, in the houses we have, and things. We do as if it will be there forever. This is what it actually means. So we should definitely scan the span of our life. And this is what Yudhishthira Maharaj, Shukadeva Goswami is explaining. That the life of the materialist is been wasted in the air of oblivion and waiting to be vanquished completely. And because one is so absorbed. Now I've given this example many times. The Russian scientists did an experiment. They put a rat in a cage and there were 2 electrodes coated with sugar. And they closed the cage. And the rat then goes to the electrode rods to eat sugar. And as he's eating sugar, the electricity is turned on. And the rat gets a shock and is thrown back. So then the electricity is turned off. Then the rat goes to the other electrode and starts eating. Then the electricity is turned on in that one as well. And the rat again flies back. Then the rat starts thinking, which electrode can I extract the sugar from? And he starts going to one, and at start there is no electricity, so he's eating, but then the electricity is turned on. And then the rat becomes consumed in this question, which electrode I can go to where the electricity won't be there. And in the meantime, the cage from behind, cage door is opened. But the rat remains oblivious that he can just go out of the cage and enjoy as much sugar as he wants in the sugarcane fields. And this is actually our life. Because we become so absorbed and consumed, and this is what Parīkṣit Maharaj has been explained by Shukadeva Goswami in the previous verses, that we become so absorbed in these questions of everything else that we select. So he says, Shrotavyadini Rajendra Ninam Santi Sahasrasa. Sahasrasa means thousands. Shrotavyadini means hearing, subject matter for hearing, inquiring. There are many, many thousands. Ninam Santi Sahasrasa. But apashyatam atma tattvam. But the person is not inquiring about the real self, Atma, the spirit soul. Apashyatam. He is oblivious to this fact that he is a living soul. And this is the crux of it. We don't realize that we are not this body. Although this message is repeated again and again, but it does not sink in. Therefore, the scriptures repeat the message again and again. Apashyatam atma tattvam. This is not just theoretical learning to understand intellectually. We are not this body, we are spirit soul. That we all understand. But to factually live on the platform of soul, atma tattva, that requires a lot of determination, a lot of courage, and of course the mercy of devotees and the Supreme Lord. Griheshu grihamedhinam. So the here it is described as the person is like a grahamadi, goat. After a few pieces of green grass, he's just eating away, chewing away, and he looks that other goats are in the line getting butchered, but he stays on. Similarly, the attached grahastha, or grahamadi rather, so there is difference between grahastha and grahamadi. Grahastha, Prabhupada describes in that verse, takes ashraya of Krishna. Therefore, it's called grahastha ashrama. Ashrama means that both man and woman come together and they take shelter of Krishna and they agree to cooperate to relieve each other from the fear of material existence. Because grahastha life causes great anxiety and fear if it is not Krishna-centered or God-centered. The man and the woman, grahamadi, they just want to exploit each other. The exploitation is, our Guru Maharaj used to say, men are only after one thing and women are after the protection in terms of financial security, nice house, and so forth and so on. So this attraction primarily based on, Prabhupada explains here, maithuna. Maithuna means sex life. And Prahlad Maharaj describes, yana maithuna digrahame disukhamahe tuchham. So he uses this word again, grahamadi. That this sukham, the happiness one experiences, is tuchham, insignificant, in comparison to the happiness one experiences in spiritual life. But we don't have experience of spiritual life, therefore we actually don't know. But we can get a glimpse of it. Those who have been practicing for many years of chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Especially in the mornings when we get together for Mangalarti, after Mangalarti, when we sit down and chant and become completely absorbed in hearing the names of the Lord, yes, definitely we get taste. Otherwise we cannot last if the taste is not there. It becomes very dry. So of course we get taste. Bhagavatam says, Tadaiva Ramyam Ruchiram Navam Tadaiva Ramyam, meaning there is pleasure there. And although the mantra is one, but Ruchiram Navam means newer and newer taste devotees are experiencing. Tadaiva Ramyam Ruchiram Navam Tadaiva Shashvan Manaso Mahotsavam. And why this is the case, that we are getting the taste and why we are feeling the pleasure of chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, because the Deva Shashvan, because this is transcendental. The name of the Lord is not of this material world. Narottam Das Thakur very nicely says, Golokera Premadhana Harinam Samkirtana. This Harinam Samkirtana is descending from the planet of Krishna, Golok Vrindavan. But we cannot fully understand the value of it. Therefore he says, Ratina Janmilo Kene Thai. I did not know the value of this Hare Krishna mantra. But it is transcendental. And yes, we experience this taste. And it is Manaso Mahotsavam. And it is described as perpetual festival of the mind, Mahotsavam. You know, everyone likes a Mahotsavam. Mahotsavam means festival. Yesterday we had such wonderful festival. The Julan Yatra of Shri Radha Girivardhan Dhari. and the Pushpa Abhishek of Krishna Balaram, and then of course such a magnificent Mahaprasadam, and to top it all, Gulab Jamun competition. And everyone is blissful. But then we go back to our homes, and the next day, if we remain in the comforts of our duna and bed and not wake up to greet the Lord, at least at some point in time during the day, then again we are falling into the dear nescience. Gross nescience, apologies, gross nescience means gross ignorance again. And then we wake up, our day will not be good. Hare Krishna. Then we wake up, our day will not be good. And then we'll feel, I'm feeling empty. There is vacuum inside. My mind is feeling depressed. All these thoughts are there. So this is the problem of the modern day world. But for a devotee, even though he may be alone, and in the corner of one empty room, he just takes his beads and he chants Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And that is Manaso Mahotsavam. That festivity that he was experiencing when all devotees come together, such nice arati, abhishek, kirtan, the drama, plays, prasadam, all that is happening. More than that, one can experience in solitude, in connection with the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Yes. And that is enlivening the devotee's mind. Krishna, here in the first canto it is mentioned, Evam prasanna manaso. It's a thus. Prasanna means enlivened. The mind, manaso, the mind becomes enlivened. How? Bhagavad Bhakti Yogataha. By following this path of Bhakti Yoga. Bhagavad Tattva Vijnanam. Because this is reality. Tattva means real. It's not just a diversion. Now sometimes people have some problems. The wrong advice is there, or just divert your mind to something else. But that diversion will not work because it's not real. But holy names of Krishna, they are real. Therefore, a bit later on it is said, Tadeva Satyam, Tadyuheva Mangalam, Tadeva Punyam, Bhagavad Gunodayam. It is truth, it is auspicious, it is the only piety, the glorification of the Supreme Lord Krishna. Therefore, it works. Bhagavad Tattva Vijnanam Mukta Sangasya Jayate. Mukta Sangasya Jayate means the devotee becomes relieved. Jai Shri Shri Radhagiri Gaurabandhari ki. The devotee becomes relieved from all the miserable conditions. So, the miserable conditions may be there, will be there, definitely. Material world means misery. Dukhalayam ashashvatam. It definitely will be there. You ask anyone, misery is there. But the devotee, by dint of being absorbed in chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, and being fully absorbed in it, becomes free from the experience of that misery. And that's called relief. But this fact is not known by the materialists. They do calculation. You just chant Hare Krishna, what is this? How can that solve anything? But Srila Prabhupada, in one of the verses in Chaitanya Charitamrita, he explains one verse from Upanishad, where it says, Natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate, that the Supreme Lord, He does not have anything to do. Why? Why doesn't the Lord have anything to do? Because He's the He's the enjoyer. He can do anything and everything. For Him to do something is boring, because He can do anything and everything. But He wants to enjoy. So for enjoyment, then He reciprocates with the devotee. But otherwise, karya, no. Yesterday we had the class. For all the karya, He just expands Himself to Balram, and expansion from Balram, they do everything. He doesn't need to do anything. Not that He cannot. He can do anything and everything. Therefore He says, Sarva Samartha Sahita. He is Sarva Samartha, all able. Natas Samascha Vidikascha Drishyate. There is no one equal to Him and no one greater than Him. And how Parasa Shaktair Vividhaiva Shruyate. He has got many, many superior energies. Parasa Shakti. Vividhaiva means many varieties, and Parasa means higher energies, potencies, through which everything is happening. He does not need to endeavor. Swabhaviki Jnana Balakriyacha, and that is his Swabhav, means nature, innate nature, threefold. Jnana, full of knowledge, Krishna is. He's fully cognizant, means aware of everything. Bala, full of strength. And Kriya, full of the ability to do any particular activity. Now in the, like many people say, you just keep chanting Hare Krishna, then who will do the work? So many time you spend in chanting. But Prabhupada in the paper very nicely explains that ordinarily to establish anything in this material world takes a lot of time and endeavor. And we see that people are working like cats and dogs, like donkeys, unnecessarily carrying the burden. Prahlad Maharaj describes Maya Sukhaya Paramudvahato Vimudhan. Maya Sukhaya means illusory happiness. That happiness is not there. They think it is happiness, but it's not actually happiness. It's illusory happiness. One of the great saints says, Takara Sankate Bari Bindu Sam Putra Dara Ramani Samaje. That the happiness we get from the wife, the husband, the society and the children, Bindu means a drop. And it's described, our heart is like a desert. And when we are in the desert, we need water. But what will a drop of water do? Now, our heart needs a reservoir of water to quench the thirst of many, many lifetimes. And Krishna is that reservoir of pleasure who can quench our thirst when we divert attention to Him. So the materialist asks, but then who will do the work? Or, who will pay the bills? So Prabhupada, he answers that ordinarily to accomplish anything material will require great, great endeavor and effort. And even after such effort, one may not accomplish it. And we see that very reality. People are really struggling out there. However, for one who takes shelter of the superior energy of the Lord, it's known as Daivim Shaktim. For him, everything becomes nice and easy. Why? Because just by chanting Hare Krishna mantra, which is fully potent, they are under the para prakriti, the superior energy of Krishna. And what is the nature of the superior energy of Krishna? We just mentioned, Subhaviki Jnana Bala Kriyacha. Jnana, knowledge, Bala, strength, Kriya, ability to do the activity. So when we take shelter of chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, this is Krishna's name and Krishna's energy. Hare represents the energy of Krishna. And we are under the jurisdiction of Krishna. And so Subhaviki, by nature itself, innate nature is that we get the knowledge on how to do things. Even material things. The devotee becomes daksha. Prabhupada mentioned daksha means an expert in arranging their material affairs. Bala, they get the strength to carry on with spiritual life and say no to material life. Say no to sense gratification, say yes to self-realization. And the talent to do the activity. I never thought I could cook. I still can't cook, but somehow the other it comes. So many things that we were previously not able to do, we see due to Krishna consciousness, we are able to do everything. And where is that all coming from? No, it's not our own thing. We are being empowered by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada has prayed for everyone who has taken his shelter. When Srila Prabhupada was in Sydney, and at that time, he came with Radha Gopinath. So, it's a great, historical occasion. One Indian gentleman, this is in 1970s, had come and he saw the devotees dancing very enthusiastically in the streets and chanting Hare Krishna. So he went to the temple with them and he saw that they were just worshipping the pictures. So he said, I should do something for these people. So he took their address and went back to India and he ordered deities, Radha Krishna deities, and he sent them from India. But by that time, the devotees were renting that place. They had shifted already. And so there was no forward address. So the deities came, Radha and Krishna were sitting in the pot, the container for so many months, and then they were sent back to India to the return address of the sender. Then the sender, he found out that Srila Prabhupada was in Mumbai. And so he went and gave the deities to Prabhupada personally. And then Srila Prabhupada, at that time, he was about to start a Pandal program in Mumbai. A few days of Pandal program. So those deities were set there and Prabhupada conducted program. And then in the plane, Prabhupada, along with one of his disciples, then brought that deities back to Sydney. So Srila Prabhupada on his lap had Srimati Radharani and the devotee had Krishna. And Prabhupada installed those deities in Sydney. And Prabhupada could see that the standard of the devotees was not there. Hardly anything they were doing right, although Prabhupada was trying to train them. So Srila Prabhupada prayed to Radha Gopinath. The deities were named Radha Gopinath. Oh merciful Lord, I am placing you under the care of the Mlechas. They don't know much, but you please guide them, you train them. And then when Srila Prabhupada came back and he saw the standards go up, and they were looking after the deities nicely. And actually the deities were looking after the devotees nicely. So Srila Prabhupada, then with a very tearful eyes, he told the devotees there that I had made this prayer, and that's why Radha Gopinath is looking after you all and giving you the intelligence, the knowledge, and everything to carry on the worship. So all these things, they come from Krishna. When we chant Hare Krishna, everything we can get, but we don't have faith. But if we somehow just have faith, Haridas Thakur and Nityananda Prabhu, they go out and they call out, Shraddhavan Jan hai, Shraddhavan Jan hai. Oh, persons who have faith, come, hear this. Just chant the holy names of Krishna and everything will be accomplished. Prabhupada says in that purport that anything material even is accomplished in a much, much better way when we submit to Krishna. Then what to speak of spiritual? And especially if we have a spiritual desire, Krishna, I want to do this for you. Srila Prabhupada, I want to do this for you. Then we see the beauty of how this works. As in the purport Srila Prabhupada mentioned, any class of men, whether it be karmi, empirical philosopher, a speculator, a yogi, or an unallied devotee who does not have any desire, and they take to this process of devotional studies, all classes of men, they will ultimately benefit because they will get relief from this concept of grahe madhi, trying to just enjoy by themselves, like that goat. But constant fear is there. And like that rat becomes absorbed in those two electrodes to extract sugar, from young age we become absorbed. Adi Shankara says, Palat stavat krida sakta. When we are young boy and girl, then krida means we are want to play, spotting. The children who come here, we see, they're just running around here and there. They want to come to the temple to meet their friends, to worship Krishna? No, to play with each other. Worship is a byproduct for them. But some children from child, they are devotees. So some while they are playing, but you'll see few will be inside and completely just mesmerized looking at the Lord. Balat stavat krida sakta. Taruna stavat taruni sakta. And when they become youth, then the boy becomes attracted to girl, girl becomes attracted to boy. They become fully engrossed in that. But if the senses are not controlled, then they become shackled in each other to such an extent that it completely consumes all of their life. And you cannot extract any pleasure out of it because actually it is more miserable. Scriptures, Prahlad Maharaj says, Yan maithuna digrahame di sukhamahi tucham. So the connection between man and woman, it is called maithuna adi. And everything, adi means relation to that. Sukham hit tucham, that happiness is tucham, insignificant. And it gives an analogy. What is that analogy? Kandu yayena karayori vadokka dukkham. Kandu yayena means when one gets the sore, sore means ghav. One feels that they need to itch. That itching sensation is there. So when you itch it, they feel, oh, relief. But actually then immediately after the relief is suffering. Because then you feel to do it more. And the more you do it, then it will become into a sore. Kanduya eva karayoriva dukkha dukkham. It will give more misery. Triptiyanti neha kripanaha bahuduhu khabhajam. But an intelligent person will realize that this is giving me so much misery. Triptyanti neha, it is not satisfying. Triptyanti neha kripanaha. But that miserly person keeps on engaging in that activity. Bahudukha bhajam, gives a lot of misery. Kandotivan manasijam vishahe tadhiraha. But Prahlad Maharaj says, dhira, a sober person, an intelligent person will tolerate that sin. See, coming to devotional life is one part. Then we have our own baggages. Especially when, the body is young, then that baggage, the senses are strong and so impetuous. To control the senses is not an easy task. Therefore, Grihastha ashram is recommended. That we accept in Grihastha ashram, the man accepts his weakness, the female accept their weakness.
Hopefully.
And then collectively they, try to, we'll save each other. The woman saves the man and the man saves the woman. But the center is supposed to be Krishna. And in that way, the Grihastha ashram becomes very, very blissful and pleasurable as well.
It's very rare. It's very rare.
Sakira Prabhu said, hopefully. No, we see many, many nice Grihastha examples. It becomes. But if weakness is there, then, if somehow the other man and wife can tolerate each other, then and continue, somehow the other continue, Krishna becomes pleased. And then eventually, at least with maturity of age, we continue the process. One may not be able to control the senses. There may be slips. Example is giving Saurabhi Muni, Saurabhi Muni, he went under the water and did tapasya for thousands of years. But due to some offenses, when he opened his eyes one day, he saw that a male fish and a female fish, they were engaging with each other. And he desired to have engagement. And then he came out of the water and went to the king and said to the king, I want to marry your daughter. But his form was very, very ghastly because so many years he was without any dressing proper. So beard had grown, hair was unset, matted, and he stunk terribly. So the king became frightened of him because he knew he was a yogi, and if I say no to him, he may curse. So the king put a condition: if any one of my daughter agrees, then it's okay, you can marry. So he said yes. And because he was a mystic yogi, he changed his form and into a clean, handsome young man. And when all the princes came, they all became attracted to him. And they all wanted to get married to him. And they all got married to him. And he started living the life like that. But then after living many, many years, but still, as they say, can't find no satisfaction. He did not have any happiness or satisfaction from the life as described there. So But he was always cognizant of this fact that the aim of life is to do devotional service to the Lord and end the cycle of birth and death. So at least this much from young age we should have implanted in our minds. That, okay, I may not be able to do it, but I will not give it up as well. This ultimately will be the saving grace of the person. Kulshekar Alvar says that Chittam naiva nivartate shanamapi Shri Krishna padambujam, that my chittam, my mind, my heart does not deviate a little bit from the lotus feet of Shri Krishna. Nindantu priya bandhava gurujana grinantu munchantu va. Even though my superiors, my relatives, they criticize me, they accept me or reject me, to me it does not matter. Nindantu priya bandhava gurujana grinantu munchantu va. And then he goes on to say that Durvadam parighosayantu manuja vamshi kalankostuva. Durvadam, they may spread ill words about me. Or look at him, he became a Harekrishna. Now he's wearing dhoti. They're putting a tilak on. The family members may, especially, coming from different culture. Prabhu, I don't know how your family took it when you joined Mataji. But even everyone experiences that. I remember once I was in New Zealand and I was giving class there, and one old lady from our hometown, she happened to be there. And she came to me as if such a miserable thing has happened. What happened to you? And I was saying, how to explain? You can't explain to them, Tadrik prema dharanuraga madhuna mattayamanam tume. Because the pleasure we experience in bhakti, in devotional service to Krishna, that is enough. All the other things actually doesn't matter. And Yamunacharya says, "O Govinda, my mind does not deter from saving you even though I am unable to serve you." My mind does not deter from saving you even though I am unable to save you. So with this sentiment, we just go on and on saving. Sometimes we are not able to save, but that repentance always should be there. No, I should be saving. And when we pass our life like this, then one day at least the mercy of Gauranga Mahaprabhu will shine. That no, my devotee, yes, suffering, the senses are there troubling. Kama dinam. Rupa Goswami says, Kama dinam katina katida palayandur nidesan. That many lustful desires and others, Kama dinam katina katida. In so many ways, I try to fulfill Kama dinam katina katida palayandur nidesan. I followed the instruction of the senses. Now some eyes say, oh look there. Here says, hear this. The sensation of feeling, touch this. And so and so. Palayan Durnideshan. I followed their bad advice, bad instruction. Naisham jata mayina karuna natrapano pashanti. But they were not able to satisfy me, or they were not able to give me peace. Now we think, okay, this last time I'll do it, never again. But then the senses say, no, more. I want more. There's no such thing as a last desire. No, I want more. Krishna described in Bhagavad Gita, duspurena nalena cha. It's like putting ghee in the fire, trying to fulfill the desires. It's like putting ghee in the fire. So, when we do an action, there are two consequences. One is what? The result. Action, reaction. What is the second consequence?
Our reaction to that reaction.
Our reaction to that reaction, well, yeah, that is there. So that's reaction, reaction, action, reaction. But there is one more thing.
Satisfaction.
No, that satisfaction, yeah, true, is like kandu yayena karayor iva dukkha dukkham, is like satisfaction of the scratch, but immediately then more scratch is required. Sukha, that is, yeah. The other thing is worse than the reaction. That another desire is implanted in the heart. That is called papa bija. So when we do some action, yes, we're getting habituated to that. Then another desire of that bija is implanted in the heart, which in future will make us do that bad thing again. That is the worst. And that is known as pravritti. Means it becomes our nature. That is the worst consequence of any action. So therefore he says that palayan durinidesham etam jataham maina karuna na trapa no prashanta. Therefore, when that we think that okay, now I'll do it, then I'll be satisfied. But then after some time later, again, it arises. No, I want more. What is that more? Because we did it previously, another seed has been planted, and that is now fructifying and asking more, more, more. But if we come under it, and we succumb under its demand, then again that vicious cycle begins. Kamadinam katina katida palayandur nidesam esam jata maina karuna na trapona pashanti utsritsyastam athayadupade sampraptam labda buddhe. But he says, then now I am sick of it. O Yadupade, or the master of the Yadus, samprapta labda buddhim. Now my intelligence has been purified. Tvamayata abhaya sharanam. Now I have come into the shelter of your lotus feet, which gives abhaya. Abhaya means fearlessness. So that fearless condition is not being implicated in this cycle of desire, fulfilling desire, then which will ultimately result in miserable condition, old age, death, again birth, and so on. Mam niyukshasva dasya. Jai Shri Radha. So it says, please engage me in your devotional service, O Krishna. Please engage me in your devotional service. So Saurabhi Muni then realizes that I have just wasted my life. And then he ultimately is able to, with determination, fully engage in devotional service to Krishna. So, therefore, here Shukdev Goswami is explaining, yes, our life span of our life is going in nidraya, sleeping, or divacharte daya rajan, in the daytime earning money. And the very vitality of our life is sucked out of that. In kutumba bharena nava, in looking after the family members, then as people said, well, I don't have time for devotional service. Even though we provide so much prasadam, we giving relief, we actually given people more time. You know, the other day actually when we were speaking 2-3 weeks ago, someone we know walked in and we said, oh, nice to see you. Sit down for 5 minutes. No, we don't have time. Not even 5 minutes. Then Krishna will say, yes, I don't also have time for you. Krishna reciprocates. Ye yatamam prapadyante tam sateva vrjhamyanam. So, no, we have to take time out. If we scan the span of our life, you know, generally the average, the median deceased age in Australia, I've said many times, is 81 years of age. So we live up to 81. Plus minus standard deviation of 8 years. I think no, standard deviation is 10. So that means anywhere from 71 onwards, the mortality will strike. So if we just calculate, okay, how old are we? I'll do my calculation. 71 minus 53. How much time is left? Not much. 17 years something. But I always felt, because my mother passed away when she was 44, I always felt I'm in a borrowed time. So I go by that standard. So this is the borrowed time. And then on that top of that, Bhagavatam explains, you know, generally for a materialist, 8 hours goes in sleeping. As devotees, we try to lessen the sleep. Krishna allows that to happen. Even though we may go to sleep late, we wake up automatically 3 o'clock. Then 8 hours working, 8 plus 8, 16. Then 3 hours eating, cooking, cleaning, that's 19 hours. And then 4 hours are left. So if we arrange our time very nicely, as last time we mentioned, you know, we have to steal time. Now while washing dishes, no, put the headphone on, listen to the class. Hear Harekrishna chanting. While cleaning, you know, we can do that. Hear Kirtan. Now the modern technology is so nice. When you are at work, in between breaks, open Bhagavad Gita, look at a verse, memorize the verse. In this way, when we steal time, then, you know, our span of life, we'll see, is increasing. Because the amount of time we spend with devotion, actually that is the life. The rest is just death. The Vedic aphorism says, Mrityo mam amritam gamaya. Lead us from death to deathlessness, lead us to life. The actual breathing is when we are able to breathe by chanting Hare Krishna. Otherwise, it is just dead body. Although living, we are dead. Although breathing, we are dead. Tasmad Bharata Sarvatma. So he says that, therefore, O King Parīkṣit, Bhagavan Ishvaro Harihi, recognize that there is Supreme Lord, Bhagavan, full of 6 opulences. Ishvara, he is the controller of everything. So he will take control of our lives if we surrender. And Hari, he will take away all the bad things, vanquish all the miseries. So when we, you know, try to meditate on this verse, each and every word is important. Please repeat. Tasmad Bharata Sarvatma.
Tasmad Bharata Sarvatma.
Tasmad Bharata Sarvatma.
Tasmad Bharata Sarvatma.
So Tasmad means therefore. Therefore, why therefore? He has explained already the life of the Grahamadi. Deha Patya Klatradishu, that just absorbed in like that rat absorbed in within the family life, and the life goes on and the time is up, and before you know it, you are up to 71 or whatever and gone. Evam greshu saktanam pramattanam ihe atya kramat abhignataha. The time insurmountable and imperceptibly kalaha paramadustaraha takes over. The patient just finishes, gone. Therefore, Bharata Sarvatma, take shelter of whom? Bhagavan Ishvaro Harihi.
Bhagavan Ishvaro Harihi.
Bhagavan Ishvaro Harihi. Bhagavan has 6 opulences in infinite quantity. Yeah, beauty, is most beautiful looking. Just have darshan of Krishna, is so nice. Strength, he is almighty. He is all wealthy. He is all knowledgeable. And he is not attached to anything. And he is all famous, all opulent. And Ishvara means he is controller. He controls everything. So if we go to surrender to him, he can control our life much better than we can. He can control our life much better than we can. Prahlad Maharaj actually says, Hiranyakashipu and his teachers said that why are you so rebellious? Why aren't you, worshipping me? His father says, you are worshipping, Vishnu. So Prahlad Maharaj says, I don't have any control over myself. I'm like a chumbaka. Chumbaka means the filings of iron which is attracted to the magnet. Krishna itself means one who attracts everyone. So, when we submit to Krishna, see, when the iron filings has got rust in it, then will the attraction work? No. Then, no matter how strong the magnet is, the attraction will not work. So similarly, in our lives, we have got a rust of lust. And because of that, even though Krishna is so attractive, we are not attracted to him. So this process of Shrotavyaha Kirtitavyascha, Shrotavya Kirtitavyascha, Shrotavya, hearing about Krishna. That's the first thing, so it's hearing about Krishna. And then whatever we have heard, glorifying and repeating it. Smaratavya, and remembering him. So when we do Shravanam Kirtanam, then remembering of Krishna becomes very, very easy. If you have heard properly, that means we will repeat it. We will tell others, we'll tell ourselves. When we are alone, we'll be reciting these verses nicely, glorifying the verses, glorifying Krishna nicely. Then cha, ichhata. Ichhata means desire. Abhayam, fear. If we want to be saved from the fear of the cycle of birth and death, and the fear of all the problems that this material life gives, then this is the solution. Apart from this, there is no other solution. In no uncertain terms, Shukadeva Goswami answers Mahārāja Parīkṣit's question just in the 6 verses. The rest then he speaks in glorification of Krishna, but the answer is very, very short. Just these 6 verses. This is the 5th verse. Tomorrow His Grace Sakirai Prabhu, please join in Zoom. we'll be covering the 6th verse. I don't want to touch that. Prabhu will do justice to it. Yes, Ichchata Abhayam. We have many Ichcha. But those Ichcha, those desires will actually drag us down and give us fear. And we'll end with this verse. Brahmaji says, in this material world, one thing is very common. That is fear. Everyone is fear of something. So Brahmaji says, Tāvad bhayam dravina deha sruhun nimittam. Fear due to bhayam, due to dravina, money issues. Tāvad bhayam dravina deha. Fear due to bodily issues. Body not right, mind not right. Sruhun nimittam. Fear due to the relatives. Relatives there, relatives not there. Shoka. And all this causes lamentation. Paribhava vipulascha lobha, and greed. I want more and more. I want more and more. Why? Tāvad bhayam mama iti. Because it is centered around me and I and mine. Me, I, mine. The mantra of the materialist. What's in it for me? But it's very short-sighted. Tāvad bhayam mama iti arati moolam. That is actually the root cause of misery. Arati means misery. It's not that arati. This is different arati. It is differently pronounced. Arati. Tavanna dengrima bhayam pravanita lokha. Brahmaji says, unless and until the person surrenders to Krishna, he won't be fearless. So this is the formula for being fearless. Smratav yash cha ichchata bhayam. Tasmad bharat sarvatma. Bhagavan Ishvaro Harihi. Shrotavya kirtitavyascha. Smaratavyascha bhayam. So these 6 ways, please memorize it. If you can, especially young minds.
Tasmad Bharata Sarvatma.
Tasmad Bharata Sarvatma.
Bhagavan Ishvaro Harihi.
Bhagavan Ishvaro Harihi.
Shrotavya kirtitavyascha.
Shrotavya kirtitavyascha.
Smartavyascha ichchata bhayam.
Smartavyascha ichchata bhayam.
You just memorized it now. Yes, who else will try? You can look. Ritika, try.
Tasmad Bharata Sarvatma.
Tasmad Bharata Sarvatma.
Bhagavan Ishvaro Harihi.
Bhagavan Ishvaro Harihi.
Shrotavya kirtitavyascha.
Shrotavya kirtitavyascha.
Smartavyascha bhayam.
Smartavyascha bhayam.
Tasmad Bharata Sarvatma.
Tasmad Bharata Sarvatma.
Bhagavan Ishvaro Harihi.
Bhagavan Ishvaro Harihi.
Shrotavya kirtitavyascha.
Shrotavya kirtitavyascha.
Smarastavyascha ichchita bhayam.
Smartavyascha ichchata bhayam.
You can look and try. It will help.
Tasmad Bharata Sarvatma.
Tasmad Bharata Sarvatma.
Bhagavan Ishvaro Harihi.
Bhagavan Ishvaro Harihi.
Shrotavya kirtitavyascha.
Shrotavya kirtitavyascha.
Smartavyascha ichchita bhavam.
Smartavyascha ichchita bhayam.
Tasmad Bharata Sarvatma.
Tasmad Bharata Sarvatma.
Bhagavan Ishvaro Harihi.
Bhagavan Ishvaro Harihi.
Shrotavya
श्रोतव्य कीर्तितव्यश्च
स्मर्तव्यश्च च वा तथा भयम्
स्मर्तव्यश्चेच्छता भयम्
तस्मात् भारत सर्वात्मा
तस्मात् भारत सर्वात्मा
भगवान् ईश्वरो हरिः
भगवान् ईश्वरो हरिः
श्रोतव्य कीर्तितव्यश्च
श्रोतव्य कीर्तितव्यश्च
स्मर्तव्यश्च स्मर्तव्यश्चेच्छता भयम्
स्मर्तव्यश्चेच्छता भयम्
Anyone else? Purna Krishna, you want to try?
तस्मात् भारत सर्वात्मा
तस्मात् भारत सर्वात्मा
भगवान् ईश्वरो हरिः
भगवान् ईश्वरो हरिः
श्रोतव्यश्कीर्तितव्यश्च
श्रोतव्यश्कीर्तितव्यश्च स्मर्तव्यश्चेच्छता भयम्
तस्मात् भारत सर्वात्मा
तस्मात् भारत सर्वात्मा
भगवान् ईश्वरो हरिः
भगवान् ईश्वरो हरिः
श्रोतव्य कीर्तितव्यश्च
श्रोतव्य कीर्तितव्यश्च
स्मर्तव्यश्चेच्छता भयम्
स्मर्तव्यश्चेच्छता भयम्
Sundar Prabhu.
तस्मात् भारत सर्वात्मा
तस्मात् भारत सर्वात्मा
भगवान् ईश्वरो हरिः
भगवान् ईश्वरो हरिः
श्रोतव्य कीर्तितव्यश्च
श्रोतव्य कीर्तितव्यश्च
स्मर्तव्यश्च इच्छता भयम्
स्मर्तव्यश्चेच्छता भयम्
तस्मात् भारत सर्वात्मा
तस्मात् भारत सर्वात्मा
भगवान् ईश्वरो हरिः
भगवान् ईश्वरो हरिः
श्रोतव्य कीर्तितव्यश्च
श्रोतव्य कीर्तितव्यश्च
स्मर्तव्यश्चेच्छता भयम्
स्मर्तव्यश्चेच्छता भयम्
Or I can look and see. Or you can't see from there. Tasmad Bharat Sarvatma
तस्मात् भारत सर्वात्मा
Bhagavan Ishvaro Harihi
भगवान् ईश्वरो हरिः
Shrotavya Kirtitavyascha
श्रोतव्य कीर्तितव्यश्च
Smaratavyaschechata Bhayam.
स्मर्तव्यश्चेच्छता भयम्
You want to try, Prabhu? Yes.
तस्मात् भारत सर्वात्मा भगवान् ईश्वरो हरिः श्रोतव्य कीर्तितव्यश्च स्मर्तव्यश्चेच्छता भयम् तस्मात् भारत सर्वात्मा
भगवान् ईश्वरो हरिः
भगवान् ईश्वरो हरिः
श्रोतव्य कीर्तितव्यश्च
श्रोतव्य कीर्तितव्यश्च
स्मर्तस्य चेतवा वयम्
स्मर्तव्यश्चेच्छता भयम्
See, everyone has recited, and how beautiful the Shravanam Kirtanam is, hearing and chanting. And now, if we take 5 minutes when we go back home and open up our Bhagavatam and just write this verse in our notebook and always keep that notebook with us, and whenever we have time, if we are studying, then between subjects, if we are working, then between meetings and work, or if we are home, have that book with us, and then open, quickly have a look, read of it, and meditate. Yes, if I want to be fearless in this material world, then this is the invincible formula given by Shukadeva Goswami. And in this way, although the material waves are pulling us in one direction, but through the help of Srimad Bhagavatam, we can refrain, resist, and remain sane. This will save us. Bhagavatam will save us. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki, Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Jai Gaur Premanande, Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki, Jai. Hare Krishna. So plenty of service opportunity this week.
Especially if we can have Friday free in the evening, when we come on Friday evenings, a lot of service will be required. And if you have other friends, devotees also, you can invite them.